It's nail day, thank God. I removed my last set in the video before this, and we are here for a brand new set today. I am so excited to get these bad boys back on. Hair is bothering me so much. It is in my face and it's pissing me off. Anyways, I'm really excited to do these ones today because they're gonna be fun and colorful, and I know my last ones were pretty out there as well, but I feel like the tones were a little more muted, so I'm excited to do something more vibrant today. And I don't know if I've been changed or what, but we are gonna be doing my almond tips again today. I don't know what's happening to me. I have just been in a trying new things type of vibe recently, and I feel like I'm gonna start doing the extra longs instead of the longs soon. Crazy business, I know. Like, I never thought I was gonna get to a point where I felt like the long tips were not long enough, you know? I love the auraaaa long tips, like they're honestly a perfect length, but I'm just wanting to be a little bit more daring recently. So I am just sizing these out, and then I'm gonna take my Melody Susie sanding band and go ahead and etch the insides. If you didn't watch my last removal video that I posted, the update is that my drill still doesn't work properly because I haven't had time to order a new one, but I'm very thankful for all of you in the comments on my video of me talking about it, because I'm happy to know that my drill is not the only one that does this, which is kind of frustrating because these drills are kind of expensive, so it's a bummer that this is now the second drill I've had that's done this, but you know what? It is what it is, it happens, and like I said, you guys have also gone through something similar with your drills, so at least I don't feel like it's all my fault. My hair is pissing me off. Oh my gosh. And now that that's done, I'm just gonna go in with a quick layer of dehydrator and primer by auraaaa. By the way, I did all of my cuticle prep yesterday when I was removing my nails, so I am skipping that step today. Now I'm just gonna go in with a thin layer of the non-wipe extend gel by auraaaa, and I'm just gonna cure that for 30 seconds. The worst is when you thought that your lamp was charged and it's not. See, the dramatics on me are just crazy because it takes 5 seconds to plug it in and turn it on, so. Ooh. I actually just got a pretty crazy heat spike when I just tried to do that. So if that ever happens to you, take your hand and inch it in really, really slowly, and it kind of distributes the heat more evenly. And then you can go ahead and cure for as long as you need, and it should not hurt your fingers at all. It's also normal to have some heat spikes after doing a removal because your nails are a little bit more sensitive. All right, these have been cured for 30 seconds, and then we are gonna go ahead and start putting these extensions back on. You guys know the drill. You just take your extend gel, paint a little bit on the inside, pull it up at the bottom, then you're gonna apply at a 45-degree angle, pushing down, making sure that there's no air bubbles. You wanna make sure that you don't go over the free edge, and then you're just gonna cure for about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm trying to go slower today because every time I do this, I end up doing something crooked because I go too fast. Voila! Let me show you a little bit closer. Taking the nail, grabbing my extend gel, painting a thin layer, pulling up a little bit at the bottom just like that. I am just applying at a 45-degree angle, pressing down, making sure that there's no air bubbles, and then I want to make sure not to go over the free edge as well. And then I'm just going to stick this under the light for a little bit. And there you have it. And so far, we have no crooked nails, thank God, because I really did not want to just have to redo them. And now I'm just going to cure this for 60 seconds. And just like that, you have one hand done. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and I'll get back to you. All right, both hands are done, and then I'm just going to take my hand file and start kind of rounding out the edges a little bit more instead of sharpening them up. I actually want to try to make these even a little bit more round and more ovally than last time. So I think, I don't know if this is going to work, but I am just going to cut off the tip like very slightly so that it's a little more oval and a little less pointed. Hopefully this works. I really don't want to cut off too much length at all, but we're just gonna try it out today. I fear this may have been a mistake. Well, I don't know. I just want them more oval than almond, if that makes sense. Like, honestly, I feel like that did something. You know, it's definitely more circular than pointed, so maybe that wasn't such a bad idea. Okay, never mind. I fear I ate. I fear this is a great idea. Okay, I was a little scared there at the beginning, but I do think that was smart. They are definitely shorter than I would like, but you know what? I will sacrifice the length for the shape I want. Okay, there's a total difference, right? Okay. This one's for sure more oval. This one's definitely more almond and pointed. I like the length of this better, but I like the shape of this better. So I think I do need to get extra longs next time so that I can have longer nails, obviously. But I like this. Right, so these are all shaped up and ready to go, and then I'm just gonna go in with my 5-in-1 pan a bit to seal the cuticles, and then we can get into painting. You really want to make sure that you're perfectly blending that extension into the natural nail so that when it grows out, it doesn't lift. All right, let's get into painting. Okay, so this is the inspo that I have for today. I saw this on Instagram a little while ago and I've been really wanting to do this one. It just looks fun and colorful and I don't think it'll take me that long, which is a good sign. And I am not using an airbrush today. I'm gonna try to use some pigment powders, and if that doesn't work, I'm gonna use polish and a sponge. So we're not using an airbrush. I have retired that. They break every time I use them, so I'm really sorry, but we will not be airbrushing today. I'm going to be using a milky white for the base, so I'm going in with my tried and true Pearly Ice by D&D. I'm going to do 2 layers of this on each of my fingers, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I have these pigments that somebody gifted me when I was in nail school, and I tried using them once and got so frustrated that I never tried again. And if you know me, I have had so many issues with airbrush over the years. But I just watched a couple different TikTok videos on how to properly use these, and I did this little tester nail, and I think these are gonna work. So let's get into it. Okay, to get a good aura nail, from what I've seen, you are going to need a matte top coat. I'm using the one from Beetles, a regular top coat using the one from Apres. Pigment powders, these ones are Viva Las Unas. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. Somebody gifted these to me. I don't know where I got them. And you're also going to need a eyeshadow brush. You can also use eyeshadow as your pigments as well if you don't have actual pigment powders. And from what I learned, it's best to kind of work on one nail at a time. So I'm basically going to put a layer of the matte top coat on and cure it for 30 seconds and go right in with the pigment powder. You don't want to do the whole hand, then cure. You kind of want the matte top coat to be a little bit sticky so that that pigment powder has something to latch onto, which I think is where I've gone wrong in the past. Matte top coat is on. I'm going to cure for 30 seconds. I'm going to start with this purple pigment. It is so vibrant. I'm excited, but a little nervous. All right, so I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush and just dip in just a little bit and kind of get off some of that excess. Wow, a little goes a long way with this. And I'm just going to kind of tap it on in the center. Oh no. Oh, I'm scared. Not loving it. Let's try that again. I think the problem is the brush I'm using is a little too big for this nail, so I'm going to kind of focus it on the center with an applicator and then use the brush to kind of diffuse it. I think we're getting somewhere. Didn't love it. New plan. I have these in my makeup kit and I think that these might work a little bit better. Fingers crossed. I don't know how this one worked so beautifully. It's okay. We're going to get there. I'm trying to get the brown eyeshadow off of this. There we go. There she is. Okay. Okay, so a brush like this definitely works the best. I'll press like kind of hard in the middle and then I kind of like soften it up a little bit the farther out I go so it looks a little bit more diffused. Not bad. I'm gonna clear coat this right away just so I don't ruin it. And then I'm gonna do all the other nails. And somehow I'm already running out of time, so I'm gonna do all of the different colors and then come back to you once I add on the rest. Okay, all the pigments are on, and now we're gonna add all of the 3D elements and the rhinestones and the chrome, but I'm gonna have to blow through this because I'm literally running out of time. I don't know how this keeps happening. Okay, took a bit of a break so the lighting's different, but I'm gonna go ahead and do all my 3D art with my Mark Art rhinestone glue, and I'm gonna drop little rhinestones in them as we go. I clipped my hair back too because it was pissing me off. All right, all the 3D is on, and the same with the rhinestones, and then I'm just gonna paint over it with my chrome gel, and then I'll get back to you when everything's done. And they are done. I'm gonna do a close up. I mean, come on now. These are gorgeous. I kind of ate. I can't lie. Literally have 5 seconds left. I love you so much. I'm so sorry I breezed through that, and I'll see you soon for another set.